wish that we could do this in person, because I need to talk about this with somebody in real life. This chapter impacted me in ways that I didn't imagine. And I have my Kleenex because I'm afraid I might get teary-eyed over all of it. It's just amazing. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So we are on letter 5 of the Screwtape letters. And we are learning how to fight smart this summer. We have an enemy of our souls, and he has deceived so many people. But we are not deceived. So let's learn how to fight smarter. And that's what we're doing this summer as we study the Screwtape letters together. So letter 5 is all about World War II. And World War II has started, and you might not know that C.S. Lewis actually fought in World War I, and he was injured in the Battle of Somme, which was horrible. I don't know what you know about World War I, but war's terrible. You know that. And mustard gas and all that. So many horrible injuries. And C.S. Lewis saw horrible things, so he was very much affected by war. And we know that he wrote the Screwtape letters during World War II. And so, of course, in just a very few words, this letter is like 4 pages long, but it made such a big impact on the world and on me. And if you've read it, I would love to know what impact it had on you. Okay, so in this letter, Wormwood, who is the apprentice demon, is drunk on the joys of watching the anguish and bewilderment of the human soul. World War II has begun, and the apprentice demon loves suffering. So the first thing that really stood out to me was the people who think that the enemy's way is the right way. Your enemy wants your suffering. He enjoys your suffering and your anguish. Why would you want to align with that? But the world does. He's coming after you. So the things that you're doing, the things that I'm doing that seem inconsequential, they are not. So who are you aligned with? Are you aligned with the God of love or the God of anguish, who disguises himself as a good time? So here are some tricks to watch out for that this letter brings out. Fear of the future, anguish and bewilderment in the present, and over-glorification of the past. Fear of the future, anguish and bewilderment in the present, over-glorification of the past. Stephanie, right there with you. Girls, in 1942, fear of the future. In 2023, fear of the future. In 1942, anguish and bewilderment in the present. In 2023, anguish and bewilderment in the present. In 1942, over-glorification of the past. In 2023, over-glorification of the past. I crack up when I see people talking about the 80s, like everything was rolling along fine in the 80s. I lived through the 80s. Things were not rolling along fine in the 80s. It's crazy. The fourth thing that this letter brought out to me was there's a line in there about being made an extreme pacifist or an extreme patriot. Both work in our enemy's favor. What? The enemy can use both of those. So just beware.